There's something that a lot of human beings that think they're awakened and the conspiracy research community have in common. One thing many of them have in common: a lack of understanding or acceptance that at times we have different opinions on what's going on. We use different terminology to define what's going on. We at times have different spiritual beliefs that we identify with. We at times interpret the Bible in different ways. We interpret 9/11 at times in different ways and how the conspiracy was pulled off. The list goes on and on and on. And when you get involved in conspiracy research and develop friends that claim that they're awakened and looking for the truth, you'll find a lot of name calling. You'll find a lot of people calling people shills. Maybe they're calling them a shill because they don't like to use the word chemtrail and they prefer to use a more scientific definition, or they choose to stick with the line of research that they're doing because that's the path that they're on. Not to deal with other people's information, but to deal with their information. And people dealing with other information want at times other people to describe things a certain way or within a certain framework. And if they don't, they will call them an Illuminati shill. And this type of labeling has become an epidemic in the last 10 years. You see it a lot mostly from people that aren't actually creating their own content, which is interesting because I've always believed myself, if there's something that I don't like or if there's something that I see that needs to be covered that's not being covered, I should go ahead and do that and not blame the media, be the media. And that includes the alternative media and alternative speakers and lecturers that have their truth to present. And so when you see a lot of people making these allegations, it oftentimes comes from people that are playing the role of armchair intellectual. And sometimes you do see, unfortunately, speakers involving themselves in the negativity of placing judgment, blame, making themselves the judge and the jury, and expecting their friends to believe the same. And if their friends don't believe the same, well, maybe they're a shill as well. Maybe they're misinformed. And this is another way the negativity continues to divide and conquer. Even us in the alternative media that are supposedly awakened and looking for the truth, we all have our own information. I've never written a book yet about my life story and hope to one day, and it'll clear a lot of confusion up about where this mysterious human being came from and why I'm on this journey. But it's my journey, and I share it because there are people on similar journeys, but no path is the same. So when we're going on this path towards the truth, we're going to come across information that finds us. Maybe that truth hasn't found someone else, or maybe they don't identify that to be their truth. Again, we come back down to difference of opinion, sometimes different interpretations of scripture. Sometimes people even, oh heaven forbid, make mistakes. When you place judgment on others and place them guilty of something they're not guilty of simply because they have a different opinion than you, you're not awakened. You're not on the path to truth. You're playing judge and jury. You're placing judgment. There's that phrase, let one who is without sin cast the first stone. Let one who has all the information call the others a shill. But we don't have anyone that has all the information. And if you do have something specific you'd like to share about Israel, about China, about ancient aliens, about the Bible, then you can, as I did, flip on your webcam on your laptop, which most of you now have access to, and share your information. If you're afraid of intimidation, or if you're afraid of them coming after you, you can get a voice changer and you can put a mask over your head and you can get a different computer. You can go to the library and upload your video on a flash drive with an anonymous email and an anonymous Hotmail account. If you have a truth to share with us, oh enlightened one, please explain to us that just don't get it, what it's really all about. If you've identified all these Illuminati shells, well, if you're that good of a researcher, then what's really going on? Because where is their power in going after people that are trying to awaken people? Oh, you think the Illuminati wants us to believe that we have a creative potential and spark inside of us, that we should go beyond the perceptions, the limitations of perception, and see reality as it is. And there are many speakers that spend their whole life, that have spent their whole life not only dealing with conspiratology or conspiracy facts, but looking at the true spiritual nature of what we are. And isn't it funny when they call out those dark forces that they're called an Illuminati shill, as if the Illuminati benefits from us asking ourselves what is really behind the agenda to enslave the human species. There is no logic even in the argument. It is just sheer negativity because fear is running rampant. People are afraid of so many things, and they've built up this in their minds, this pyramidal new world order to something in their minds that exists as something that already has full control over the cosmos. That there is no spiritual dynamic going on here, that we don't have. What do you hope to achieve if you're one of those by attacking people, getting them to think outside the veil and labeling everything New Age? Man, since we have had a consciousness, has always questioned the stars. What's above us? What's below us? What's around us? What are we? Why are we here? What is reality? What does it mean when stars are positioned a certain way? That's not New Age. That's been around for a very long time. So no one is a truther or is awakened if they're spending their time not sharing their own truth. And I already explained to you how you can do it anonymously if you don't feel confident doing so using your face on a YouTube video or letting your natural voice sing its song of truth. There's ways you can do that. But if you're not doing that and you're only attacking people that are trying to get people to really think outside the box of this dark draconian Civil War paradigm that a lot of people enjoy subscribing to, because the body responds to that. It responds to threats to physical survival. And when people try to pull people out of that, it's like, oh no, they're trying to take us into the Illuminati zone. There's a lot of things that have been labeled New Age that are basically spiritual concepts. And there is so much hysteria and lack of proper sight in the minds of so many people that this term awakened and truther and even at times consciousness and spirituality are terms that are used very loosely when people describe themselves. And there are many that describe themselves as conscious that engage in negative attacks on others. And sometimes it comes from people that might identify with the New Age movement that call people negative. They're trying to bring light to serious issues affecting the human species today. And I don't identify that to be positive either. We've got to get out of this box. We have to get outside the box of placing judgment and work on ourselves. This is a spiritual journey, and spiritual warfare is taking place in realms and areas that a lot of these so-called awakened, self-awakened truthers have no conception of and refuse to believe in, because they see one group, one entity as the only reality, and that's New World Order Town. That's Bilderberg. That's Trilateral. It's the 9/11 inside job. It's the FEMA camps. And of all the people ask me, Alex, when are they going to come to put us in the FEMA camps? And I wasn't aware that I was someone that was putting off that type of a vibe, that any day now they're going to come and get us, even though I've reported on a lot of things. And I've mentioned this in shows years and years ago. It's just information. Just because there are plots out there that we have a responsibility to report on, it doesn't mean that's the whole story, that that's the whole plot, that that's where it begins, that that's where it ends, that that's the alpha and that's the omega. That's not reality. You can report on what plots and deceptions and things that are going on out there. You can be a reporter and not pull yourself into the fear and hysteria, which is exactly what they want. That's why even conspiracy theory on True TV, conspiracy theory with Jesse Ventura, is that they're showing you what they're doing, and they're allowing, oh, they're censoring the police state episode. It's all over YouTube, and now they've got a third season. All those conspiracy theories about how they were suppressing conspiracy theory was just a conspiracy theory. It has no basis in fact. Conspiracy theory is a very popular show, but Ventura, whether he knows this or not, there are many useful tools that just don't know they're tools. That's the other thing I want to introduce. There are people that behave that they're tools and behave sometimes like they're possessed animals, screaming for war against the government. Yeah, they're coming to get us. The TSA's gonna rape your daughter. Oh, yeah, we'll be right back. The resistance continues. This is Central Command Center. I can feel the power. See, it's like they're consumed. He's consumed with his own demons. It's like there's forces of darkness, even the Archons. I wonder whether they're even manipulating that man's mind. Scare the fuck out of. Don't make them confident in themselves. Scare them. Scare the fucking shit out of them. And make the U.S. the enemy the whole time that it happens. And ignore Russia and China's crimes. That's what he's doing. Knowingly or unknowingly. He doesn't have all the answers. He doesn't have all the answers. He doesn't have all the answers. You have answers that you can find yourself to where you reach a point where you completely disconnect from shows like that and messages like that that are so very influential. No one's trying to suppress his truth. He's worked very hard to get to where he is today. And I think a lot of it he did himself because he's a very talented individual. But he understands the market. People respond to threats to personal survival. But you got people out there at the organic level, at the grassroots level, that are consuming some of this data that will turn around and attack others trying to take them on a more spiritual path. Or call them shills if they don't agree with everything that they agree. And again, where's the, and I know Israel's very much involved, this shell of a government, and all this deceptions. Where are the great films, though, that could have been produced by these people over the years? And I'm even talking about people that have attacked the other guy I was just talking about. He doesn't get into Israel. He doesn't get into Zion. Well, where's your truth? I mean, there's a lot of people on this planet there that are very misled. Listen, guys. The video's ending. I've been talking for years about China. There is a war coming that I feel intuitively that these dark forces, however you describe them, whether you describe them as, something coming from the world of man or other, regardless, there is a plan to stage World War III between China, Russia, and the United States that will result in a peacekeeping operation here on U.S. soil. Does that mean that I should call everyone a shill that's involved in geopolitics, whether it be Webster Tarpley, whether it be Gerald Celente, although Gerald Celente has said that a staged war is on the way. And you notice people don't want to talk to Gerald about that too much. It's kind of like an issue no one really wants to. They love their conspiratainment and know how evil America is. Death to this country. All this shit people are saying, but they're not looking at Russia and China. They're using our country to destroy ourselves and get us to hate ourselves in our own country while they prepare for what's to come. The next 9/11 won't be the U.S. being attacked and the U.S. launching a war. It'll be the U.S. placing a first strike on another nation, perhaps blowing up a whole entire city, which turns the whole world against the United States. And they got all the fuel they need to get the support from all the people around the world as they kick the living shit out of us. Now, we don't want that. We're about the truth and exposing the real dark forces, not hating our own country, loving our own country. So we got to be careful with the language we use. And that's what this is about, language. When you hear people call other people shills, you need to ask that person what their truth is, what they would like to present, what their understanding is. And if they can't, they knowingly or unknowingly, subconsciously, letting a dark force or energy work through them. That's a part of this divide and conquer that is very, very much, infiltrated the conspiracy research community on a spiritual level. Because there is a spiritual sickness within the mainstream conspiracy research community, and I'm going to be one person that's going to look you in the eyes and tell you it's a very serious issue. Unless people in the so-called awakened movement realize that, They're going to continue to be confused as to what's going on and pointing their fucking fingers at other people to make themselves feel better.